edition of Brownsville As Is with
A for Shauna.
S for Sonia. And we're so happy that you're with us today. It's a little gloomy day, but we've got good stuff to talk about.
That's right. We're going to share some kindness with our community. How about that?
Absolutely.
Kindness. Featuring
Dr. Tommy Russell.
That's right.
Dr. Russell is a local dentist. He's retired. His sons still carry on the office and the tradition. But he's had his focus on a little different thing over the last few years.
Right.
And
Acts of kindness.
Acts of kindness initiated a movement to do intentional acts of kindness.
Random acts of kindness. I love it. How about that?
Yeah.
How about we go see him?
I'm ready. I'm sure he's got interesting stories.
I'm ready to hear. Y'all come on.
Acts of Kindness program, Acts of Kindness Haywood County, actually began as a thought that I had. I sort of called it a little bit of an inspiration, but it was during my tenure as president of the Rotary Club back in 2014-15. And as president of the Rotary Club, the president does have has a platform from which to speak to the community and to the leadership of the town and county. And so I wanted to use that platform in some good way for the benefit of the county and the people of Haywood County. And so I thought, trying to wonder what in the world I could do. And suddenly this just came to my mind. I was influenced by the incident, a tragedy at Sandy Hook, where the children were assaulted so terribly, and one of the children that was murdered in that incident, mother and father began a kindness program in honor of their little girl that was killed. And I thought, what a wonderful way to respond to adversity by doing something kind. And but that's what they did, and it exists today. And that sort of touched my heart, and I said, why couldn't we do something here to make Haywood County a better place? I just worked out this concept of Acts of Kindness Haywood County. It's a program of intentional acts of kindness, more so than just random haphazard acts of kindness that you might just spontaneously run into. But I wanted to engender within our people an attitude of intentional kindness, so that as they started their day, they would go out as they met people with the motivation of finding somebody along life's way to whom they could be kind that day, lift them up. And thereby, one by one, we would make Haywood County an Acts of Kindness county. Before I even began to initiate the program, I wanted to have everybody on board and backing me up. And one of those people was Carlton Viz, the owner of the radio station. And to my delight, he was very, very encouraging to me, and even excited about it. In fact, he said, I've been looking for a tagline for my radio program. And he said, what I can do is when I introduce the segment of the program, I can say, this is coming from Brownsville, Tennessee, an Acts of Kindness community. Even today, that's the tagline to our radio station here in Brownsville. If I might, let me read you our sort of the mission statement, which might help you understand what the Acts of Kindness program is. The mission of our AOK, which is Acts of Kindness community, is to encourage intentional acts of kindness and compassion within Haywood County. kindness to our visitors or those just passing through, kindness to our newcomers and to our neighbors of long standing. Acts of kindness cross the boundaries of age and race, income and politics. We believe our people to be the greatest asset that we have, and we believe our community to be indeed a great place to live. In fact, an act of kindness community. So that's sort of the program. I've been a student of kindness because I wanted to have as much understanding of kindness and how it can be shown to others, and so I've read and studied to make myself better acquainted with the concept and to help know how to implement it here in Haywood County. But I write an article in the newspaper every week, and I can hardly leave my home without someone stopping me and saying how much they enjoy the Acts of Kindness article in the newspaper. And one of the things I hear so often is, we're just so glad to have some uplifting good news to hear. But one thing that I've encouraged in my articles especially is that when we meet someone along life's way, we never know what their challenges are. We are to treat all people with respect and kindness, and greet them in such a fashion that would lift them up and if we can, make them smile. And maybe just the thing they needed to lift their spirits up. And one of the things I wanted to achieve also is for Brownsville and Haywood County to acquire a reputation of being filled with kind people, so that when someone came to Brownsville, just maybe looking around, as they run into our citizens and they see this kindness in action, they'll be impressed and they'll remember Haywood County in a special way as an act of kindness, indeed an act of kindness community. That's simple enough to where anybody can do that. Now you can get more complicated, more complex. Sometimes people do things that involves money, in terms of maybe leaving a big tip at a restaurant. Sometimes we have stories of people who leave scholarships to people who otherwise wouldn't be able to go to college. Those things take money, but so many acts of kindness don't cost you a nickel, but it can change a life. So you don't have to have any special training to do this. You just have to have a heart, and you know, kindness can be acquired. Even if you know yourself maybe not to be a kind-hearted person, you can become one just by intentionally executing acts of kindness and lifting other people up. You yourself become a kind person. Kindness is love in action, and so if we ever did need it, I think we need it now. And we have a lot of good-hearted, kind people here to start with. So I just want this to be expanded and continued. Everything that I do is directed in that area of making it self-perpetuating and continuing.
What a legacy for Dr. Russell to leave with this community. Just a format or a platform to spread kindness. And you know the good part about it? He encourages us to pass it on.
Yes. And you know that I did not know before we were talking with him that January the 13th is Act of Kindness Day in Brownsville and Haywood County. So we need to remember that. We obviously need to practice it every day.
I don't think there's anyone who cannot afford the cost of kindness.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah. I think we've got a little work to do. Let's go.
Let's go.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.